What's up, family? What's happening? Been a while since I did one of these lives on the move. We are now about to get this back started. But for you who watching this later, wait for a couple of minutes if you will. See if we can get a few people to tap in real quick for a couple of minutes before I hop back off. So right now I want to kind of like touch very briefly on workplace stress relief. I know today's Friday and this has been a highly anticipated weekend for obvious reasons. I'm thinking if I want to go ahead and dive into it now, or I kind of wait. But you know what? It's not fair to you because you're watching now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All right. So again, we're talking workplace stress relief, right? So oftentimes while we at work, we go through it, right? So Friday is always a highly anticipated day of the week, of course. Sunday is probably the most regretted day of the week. Why? Because you have to go back to work Monday. And the cycle continues. Right? So then we have to ask ourselves, okay, how do we change this? How do we change this? How do we change this? Because obviously, hey, what's up, you guys who just tapped in? We're talking workplace stress relief. Has Friday been the most anticipated day of the week? So Friday, when Friday come around, because we had a long week, what do you normally do on Fridays and Saturdays to relieve the stress load that you have taken on or went through it? All right. Now, when it comes down to change, congratulations on passing the exam for sure. Hey, do me a favor because I'm driving, so I can't just study the you guys' comments, but I will look down periodically, as safe as possible. I don't encourage any of you guys to do this on your on your own. So just know, if you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe now. The reason why I'm asking you to subscribe, because this Friday would be the third Friday where I think it's called Workplace Struggle Relief or something like that. So what we do there, I'm going to pick up what I was just talking about. I just want to kind of like give y'all a brief insight of what we do on the Fridays, so you can decide if you want to be a part of it. So Fridays, what we do is the first thing we do when we get started is go through the process of relieving the stress that we encounter throughout the week from work. All right, it could be personal, but obviously we're talking about work, right? So we want to get that off our chest, because oftentimes when we go through things at work, it come home with us. All right, we have families. It's just bad. All right, so the first objective is for us to relieve the stress. So that's time for you to vent, not talk crazy, not but get out of your chest, and for everyone who's in the chat, we try to engage in, if you have a specific issue that you struggle with at work today or this week, well, I may not have I may not have encountered that, right? But I may have some idea how to help you get through it, or someone in the chat may be going through it too. That'll give you hope, because it's like, man, I'm not the only one. Then it's like, exchange dialogue to not only encourage, but share some tips and some things that they've done or we've done personally that helped us get through those same struggles, right? So that way, okay, cool. It was a hard week, and now that we're here fellowshipping together, and Buddy just gave me some good stuff, or a homegirl just gave me some good stuff. You know what? I'm gonna try that. I think that'll actually work. That'll probably help me. So that's kind of like what we do, starting off workplace. I can never remember. This is on like the third Friday we've done this. Workplace Struggle Relief Friday. That's what it's called. All right, so that's why I'm telling you to subscribe. So I'll probably go live maybe like 6 or 7 o'clock later on, and then so you guys are welcome. And also, so I just released a book like Tuesday before last, called Show Up Different to the Workplace Employee Training Guide to a Successful Career. So what I've been doing, I've been sharing like different tips and strategies that's in the book, and kind of like elaborating on it a little bit, and also giving examples, so you'll know how you can take that same information from the book and apply it to your everyday work life. But it's a personal growth resource, right? So with that personal growth resource, you'll begin to grow and develop personally, and that will help you professionally as well. But it's more into it. I don't want to drown you guys out with this, right? So yeah, just join us later. It's free. You know what I mean? It's a free live. Join us later, and you have any questions or struggles or whatever it is, we're gonna get through them joints together. All right. But back to what I was saying, like, for us, like, now, obviously we all have some type of workplace struggles. So the thing is, like, obviously we have to go to work to collect a check. All right, and that's a lot of our mindsets. I'm just here to collect a check. I have bills, where that's legitimate, but that's not enough. And as we know that's not enough, because like we find ourselves at jobs that we really don't want to be at. We find ourselves doing things that we really don't care to do, and we walk away having a sense of unfulfillment. Why? Because we just here to collect a check. So how do we change that? We have to understand that if, like I always give this example, 5 years ago, did you see yourself here? And if you seen yourself here 5 years ago, did you do anything intentional to get yourself here? And you can be like, man, I did it, right? Very few of us, right? Now, if you did not see yourself here and you didn't do anything in here, then that means I have just been living a reactive life, meaning I'm just going with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. And I'm speaking to this because I lived for the weekend like 15, almost 20 years of my life, starting in middle school. And now, rock with me here. Be honest. Forgive me again. I can't just like browse through you guys' comments right now at this second. Look, question: when you were in school, what is that like? We look forward to the weekend. Why? Because we didn't have to go back to school. Now, are you the same way at work now? So the thing about when we were in school, look forward to the weekend because we didn't have to go to school. See, a lot of people snapped out of that. I kept that same mindset. So from middle school all the way up until I was in my 30s, like early 30s, Like, it was all about the weekend. I went to work talking about what I'm going to do this weekend. After the weekend came around, I went back to work on Monday, Tuesday, still talking about how successful my weekend was. You know what that success was? I planned to go Kimpo crib on this side of town, and then when I leave from there, I'm gonna go to my other partner crib on the other side of town, just riding around drinking, like doing things I ain't had no business doing. That was a successful weekend for me. That's all I seen. So if you and I continue to see our life with a short span of this weekend, what do we think our life going to look like 5 years from now? That is what we have to change. We have to start seeing our life much more than what we see physically. We have to see our lives, we have to see ourselves more than how we see ourselves now, because we are more. And our life is much, our future is much brighter. We deserve much more. But if we're just going to work and we can't see past Saturday or Friday or this weekend, guess what? We would never first see the life that we actually deserve physically. Why? Because we don't see it. We don't visualize it. We don't see it spiritually, if that makes sense. Right? So all this stuff here like, this is what have our blinders on, where we can only see, we can't see past where we are. So what is the first step to changing that? Matter of fact, since we're here, I'm gonna give you the quick 5 steps of how to build your future on paper. And that way, if it's on paper, first of all, you see it and you got it out of your mind. Like, you write from your heart, because I'm tired of this. Something has to change. So when we build our future on paper, then we have a step-by-step plan of how to begin to change that, to bring what's on paper into our physical reality. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? How many shootings in America? I have no earthly idea. I don't keep up with that, but I know it's a high number. Sad to admit, it really is. But so let me move on, because I only have a couple more minutes. So the first step to building your future on paper, you have to visualize and brainstorm. So we have to understand, obviously we didn't create ourselves. God created everyone, right? And he created each and every one of us with a purpose. And because he created each and every one of us, think of a phone that you buy. Think of a TV that you buy. And even a car that you buy. It has a blueprint. The blueprint to that thing that we buy is the manual. The manual that comes with it is the blueprint, right? So guess what? God have a blueprint for our lives. So when we begin to tap into the dreams, visions, and the ideas that he when we tap into the dreams, visions, and or ideas that he gives us, he's like, we go to the movies, right? They show first 15, 20 minutes of previews of the movies that's to come, right? So God, he gives us previews of what the future looks like, according to Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to bring you hope in the future. So what that looks like, according to his plans, he revealed to us through dreams and visions of what's to come, previews what's to come pertaining to our future. Why? Because we have to manifest the life that he first had in mind, that he predestined, that he preordained each and every one of us to have. And it comes through dreams, visions, and ideas. So then we have to, how do we begin to manifest? First of all, we have to access the dreams, visions, and our ideas. Nah, you capping? This real life. How can I give you these things just off the top of my head? I'm not that good. I dropped out of school in 9th grade. You understand me? Like I'm not that good. What I'm sharing with you now, God gave me this back in 2018, where I put together like a little mini course. And I thought like, yeah, it's go time. I'm finna get this money. He like, It didn't pan out like that. But I didn't know that he, like, again, Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, right? I had, like, I'm a 9th grade dropout. You feel me? Here it is, I'm an author. Just released the first book. The employee training guide at that. That's one of a 5-book series. Hey, what's up now? That's one of a 5-book series. For I know the plans I have for you. I dropped out of school in 9th grade. All I wanted to do was just smoke weed and drink. So, like, I'm not just shooting out the side of my neck. I'm speaking my life. I'm speaking my experience with my Lord and Savior Christ. All right. So, as I continue, 9th grade dropout, mind you. So, I say now y'all finna have me skipping all over the place. So, I say I'm an author now, right? You have to see yourself bigger than what you see yourself. What am I talking about? Oftentimes we wait, like, so whenever an author drop a book, then they're classified as an author, right? Because the world called them an author. But guess what? God created us, and because he have a plan for us, guess what? I was already an author before I was even created. That was part of his plan for my life. So what are you according to how God see you? Yeah, I am. David, look, check me out. I'm be honest, like don't judge me. I was getting sleepy as I was driving, so I'm like, let me come on here and holler at my people and kind of let them know about our thing that we do on Fridays now with the I sent you a message too, David, as you did what we covered last Friday. Did that help you any? But no, so don't wait for someone to say that you are this or say that you are that or acknowledge you for this. Sometimes, like, people see the greatness inside of us before we see it ourselves, right? But please know that God see who you are before you would see who you are. No, you good, and that's a good thing, David. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Right? So I say I'm an author, I was that before I was created. So whatever God plan is for your life, you are already that. You just don't see it. You may not even know it. Or you may think and feel, but you like, nah, not me. Believe it. You feel me? Believe it. Believe it. But no, so let me get back to these steps real quick so I can knock this out. I'm in the process of going back to work. I've been I've been injured. Of course, my wife will call. 200. Hold on, y'all. Y'all gonna see me, but you're not gonna be able to hear me. Hold on. Okay, so so let me I'm sure I'm gonna be here longer than 30 minutes. They have like 30 minutes only parking. Like, but anyway, so let me share with you guys the steps, and then we can connect back later this evening. I don't know where you are. I'm in Texas, so right now it's 9:39. So like I said, we usually get started about 7. I might do a little earlier, maybe like at 6 or whatever, but I'm not sure. So just subscribe if you feel like it's something that could be helpful to you. And then when you get there later, and if it's not what you thought or whatever, that's cool. You can unsubscribe all you like. So yeah, but real quick, so dreams and vision, right? So we have to begin to visualize visualize and brainstorm. So the step one is to visualize and brainstorm. Visualize the dream vision that you have for your life, which means you have to see past where you are and look in the future of that life that you feel like you deserve. If you had it your way, what would that life look like? Now, as you do this, you got to believe these things, because if you don't believe it, then it's like going to be like a vapor. Like, it's not going to matter. You know what I mean? But you have to believe it enough to first write it down. All right, whatever you see. So with the brainstorming part, there's brainstorming like so. Okay, so I'm trying not to go through all of this in depth, but so you visualize and see what that future looks like. Whatever you see, write it down. All right. Now you have to. I encourage you to spend time in a place where your mind is free to explore, where you do your best thinking. All right. Wherever that is. For me, it's a shower, driving sometimes. My secret place, the closet. When it's dark, I go in there, sit down, like, or in the morning time when everyone's still asleep, like, where there's no interruptions, no distractions, nothing. Like, I can see, right? I can see spiritually. I can see what that future looks like. All right. And then brainstorming, that comes with the ideas that we may get as we visualize, or just with any idea that comes to mind, like, write those things down. Don't think that, oh, it's not possible. Yeah, it's fantasy world. Like, you have to see it, and you have to believe it. All right. So that's step one: visualize and brainstorm the dream, vision, and our idea. And then I just pretty much told you step two, which is document it. Write it down. Whatever you see, write it down. It don't have to be in a specific order. None of that. Just write it down. The most important thing is for you to have the information when it's time to sit down and put the plan together. All right, because so many thoughts hit our minds, and it's like, we're gonna forget, guarantee it. All right, so write it down. And then step three is to Um, take everything that you wrote down at the end of the week, or however often you plan to do it. I'll just say at the end of the week, Saturday. You're doing this during the week. And by the way, you can do this while you're at work. Like, you can visualize, and like you can work the ideas that he give you while you at work. Don't do it where it's like you can get hurt or anything like that. But like you can literally put in your phone and keep it moving. You don't have to like sit down like write everything out. You don't. You know what I mean? And that's the cool thing about um step two, the document part. Like, you can literally just write it down, like whether notepad or whatever, put it in your pocket, put it in your phone real quick and put it in there. And the cool thing about it is, while you already in that mind space, you can still be working safely, and God will begin to give you more ideas. Like, you will be able to still see more into the vision. All right. And you just keep writing down. So you do this Monday through Friday, or Saturday, or Monday through Friday, and you sit down with this Saturday, as God, you give me this vision, you gave me these ideas, help me to construct a plan to manifest this into the physical light, right? So then when you do that, so that's step two. So step three, at the end of the week, when you sit down with all that you have, remember, it don't have to be in a specific order, right? It's, you just have to have it. So step three is prepare the plan. Prepare, in parentheses, create, no, sort, construct, and create. All right, y'all follow me? Now, I don't expect y'all to pick up all this at one time. If you need to start this live over, whatever it is, watch it later, that's cool. So you can have all this information, because it will really help you. Or you can just buy the book. All right. Or you can just, matter of fact, if, because I forgot to put the link in here. I forgot to put the link in here before I got started. Whenever I hop off, I I have like a few resources that I call that I pull from the ebook that you can download, and it's called How to Build Your Future on Paper. And that's one of the resources. This process that I'm sharing with you, it's a free resource. So if you want to come back and check later, um, this live, to get that resource, that's cool. However, or if you want to just wait till later when we tap in, I have all that information in the description. All right. But so step 3 is to prepare the plan. All right. So first, sort. Forgive me if I'm not reading you guys' comments right now. I'm going to get to it in a little bit. I just have to go in here and do my follow up so I can be released back to work. So I'm just trying to run through this real quick, help you in any way that I can, and then I'm running inside. Hopefully I'll be able to review the comments by later. So when we go live later on this evening, then I'll be able to cover some of those, some of the things that you guys were saying. If it's crazy, I won't acknowledge it. I don't entertain stupidity, with all due respect, because this is not the energy that we be on this channel. All right. So sort. Imagine. So sort. Okay, the sort part is so you take the list like of everything that you wrote down. Now then you sort them: short-term goals and long-term goals. You take short-term goals on one side of the paper and on the other side, or however you want to separate them. All right, because you probably be looking at a list of probably like goals and probably steps that's going to help you achieve or help you manifest your future life. All right. So with the sorting part, you separate them the two. This is important because your short-term goals are your checkpoints. When you go out of town, like, odds are you already know where you're gonna stop, especially if you don't like for us, like we probably gonna stop at a Quick Trip somewhere. We're probably gonna stop at a Bucky somewhere, right? We know where it's at, so that's our checkpoint to our destination, Florida, right? When we drive to Florida every year. So your long-term goals is your destinations. You follow me? Short-term goals are your checkpoints. Long-term goals are your destinations. So your checkpoints. So then it's like you want like you constructing the plan now, right? The step-by-step plan. So for some, it's easy for them to look at the destination, reverse engineer themselves back where they are, and what are the steps that are going to help you get to your destination. Now, the checkpoints based on where you are, you want to put them in order to where, okay, checkpoint one, checkpoint two, checkpoint three. Your checkpoints should lead you to your destination. Your checkpoints are also your guidelines that's going to help you stay on course, help you stay on track, so you won't deviate off. All right, it's going to help you beeline straight to where you're going. All right. And then your plan is your roadmap. All right. So by the time you put all those your checkpoints and destinations in the proper order, well, guess what? You just now created your step-by-step plan and how to manifest your goals and or your future. Does that make sense? All right. So now, step 4 is the building process. You have to lay the foundation. Now, for us who are in Christ, know this: money isn't no foundation. It's a tool, simply a tool. We have to have a solid foundation that we're going to build on. And because we're building out the future life that God created us to have according to his blueprint and his plan for our life, Jesus Christ has to be our foundation, which means we have to have a personal relationship with him. The most important part of the building process. All right. King Faith, what's happening, my brother? That's our relationship with Christ. That's the most important. That like he's our foundation, and we build our life in every area of our life with him as the center of it. But we have to allow him in to be Lord of our life. We have accepted him as Savior because he died for our sins. But since he paid the debt of sin off, then that means he's also our Lord. We must surrender. So he have to be the center of our life, and he's our good shepherd. So he have to lead us into that future life according to what God's plan for our life is. All right. So also with the building process is know what resources you have. You have your step-by-step plan. Okay, how am I going to achieve this goal? How am I going to manifest this life? What are some resources that you're going to need? All right. And then like I don't have the money, so we don't bother planning. I don't have the money, so we don't bother. Like, no, it doesn't start there. When we get the money, that's when we begin to use that tool in the area that we need, that's going to help us get closer, whatever that may be, whether it's coaching, mentoring, if it's like I'm going to buy this property, buy this course, buy this book, whatever it is. All right. But we have to have a plan. That's free. So then, with knowing what resources you need, then you ask yourself, what resources do I have available to me right now? And then what do I use this resource that I need now that's going to help me get a little closer? Help me get a little closer. Sir Minister, how you doing, my brother? All right. So then now with having the resources, knowing what the resources are, this is important. I don't expect you to have all this figured out all at one time, but like get started though. So also with the building process, we have to know what are the what ifs. What if this can go wrong in this area? Okay, what can I do to make sure I can avoid that, or I can prevent that? Well, I can go this direction, but it will probably be best if I go this direction. So we have to think of the what ifs, so we can better plan, or should I say proper plan. And then step 5 is simply get started. know that you have all that it takes. So with that, Exodus 31, um, Exodus 31, starting at verse 2 or 3, all the way to like 7 or 8 or something like that. When God wanted Moses to build I think it was a tabernacle or something like that, he told him that the people, he have first, I forget the dude name. So he called the dude name, and he said, I have filled him with my spirit, with understanding, and like talents, and like everyone else, like with the gifts and talents to do the artistic work, everything that God need each one of those individuals to, and partaking in building this. He have already given each and every one of them that. So guess what? You have everything that you need to build this out. Sure, like we acquire skills along the way, knowledge and all these, but ultimately you have everything inside of you. So when it comes down to believing in you, you have to know that God created me for such a time as this. So because he created me for such a time as this, I can just believe in him, trust trust his will, and act in faith based on what I believe, and what I trust from my Lord. And I'm just going to be obedient to build and do what you instructed me to do with what you created me, with what you created me to build with. Oakley, what's happening, brother? Makes sense. So also, like, evidence. What's the evidence? The dreams, visions, the ideas, the goals. Those are the evidence. He has already given you vision. He has already given you the dream. He has given you ideas. Like, it's all written on paper. That's all the evidence you need. All right. So that's the 5-step process of how to build your future on paper. Again, if you give me like maybe like 5-10 minutes, I'll put this. I'll put I created something called the Show Up Different resource room, where you can download a few resources for free. And this process that I just shared with you, that's one of the free resources in that in the Show Up Different resource room. So everything I just shared, it's broken down. Like, you can, in fact, you can print it out. That's what I had in mind. Like, you can literally print it out and then like work it like it's a worksheet. All right. So yeah, and that's what I have. That's what I have. So how do you change the day to day, man? I'm tired of this job. I'm tired of this. I'm over that. My life is just, I'm not going anywhere. This is how you begin to change it. You start creating a plan for your life, but you can't create a plan for your life until you see what your future life looks like. So that's how you begin to change it, starting now. So give me maybe like 5-10 minutes to put the resources in the description of this live, and yeah, and get started. Oh, and there's a few other things there too. You struggle with your routine and you all over the place in the morning, always running late. That's another free resource there that I call the Conquer Success Routine, that will help you get your day started. Like, these are simple processes that you can do to where you begin to take control of your morning, to where once you understand the concept of it, you can start taking control of your day to day with what God has given you permission and control of. All right. And then your life as well, with what he has given you permission to control of, with only. You're not in full control. The king is. He has just given us authority and dominion here on earth, but to do his will and his will alone. And creating the life that he created us to have, that's part of his will, because it's part of his plan. All right. So yeah, that's where we at with it. I'm about to hop out, and yeah, just go ahead and get started. Go ahead and get started, because none of that, my life isn't going to change until we start disrupting the norm. Until we start being intentional about creating shifts, changes, advances, like different things in our life. If not, we just gonna go with the flow, and guess what our life look like now, it's gonna look much worse in about 5 years later, probably sooner, with all this craziness that's going on. Y'all follow me? So again, if you are not subscribed, we'll be coming together later to do our workplace struggles. Help me. Workplace struggle relief Friday, and then when we talk, oh, and the Lord been having me work this. You have to be there to see. You have to be there to see. So again, I'm in Texas. We're gonna do it. Gonna go live maybe like 6, maybe 7 or something like that. At least that's my plan. And so if you want to be a part of it, subscribe now. If you can unsubscribe later, I'm just saying subscribe now so you can get the notification, and then we come together in fellowship. Share this live with somebody. Share the information with somebody. Send the links that I'm gonna put here with somebody. And invite them to join you later, to join us later. All right, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, I love y'all greatly. Know that you were created much more than what you have experienced in life thus far, and you deserve much more. But you have to be willing to do what God has called you to do according to your part. So start today. Start today. Instead of going out kicking it later, you've been looking for the weekend to go out and do probably what you've been doing every weekend. Guess what? You're probably going to be doing it next weekend, the weekend after that. Ain't no telling how long you've been doing it. Like I said, I did it for 15, probably close to 20 years of my life. So that's how I can speak on it. You have to cut that short now, at least for now. Start seeing what your future look like, because you deserve that. Not the same old thing over and over again. So go create what God has given you to create, so you can begin to live a life that you deserve to have according to what His plan is for your life and my life. All right? I love you guys. Stay blessed. Peace. Hey, how you doing? All right.